We know Hillary can't be trusted. We've learned that. With America's security, you take a look at her email situation. Can we trust her with our security? We are a nation of laws, and that we are all equal under those laws. Hillary's corruption shreds the principle of which our nation was founded. If that were a Republican that did what she did with the emails, they would have been in jail 12 months ago.
Well, you heard it all there. Equal justice. We all should be treated the same. Well, Donald Trump made Hillary Clinton's untrustworthiness a central theme of his 2016 campaign, criticizing her use of a personal email account when she was Secretary of State. But as the Washington Post reported last week, his daughter, Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, is now facing similar criticism for using a personal account to send emails about government business. In an ABC interview today, Ivanka was asked about the similarities between her email use and Hillary Clinton's. Let's watch.
Your father had taken Hillary Clinton to task for this, so how did you wind up in a similar situation?
Well, there really is no equivalency. There's no prohibition from using private email as long as it's archived and as long as there's nothing in it that's classified.
But your father hammered Hillary Clinton on this.
My emails have not been deleted, nor was there anything of substance, nothing confidential that was within them. So there's no connection between the two things.
So the idea of lock her up doesn't apply to you?
No.
Well, we're back with Ginger, Corey, and Jason. I want to start with Jason. Do you see a parallel here in the lock-her-up world of if you use outside emails, you were not a law-abiding citizen? And by the way, Trump laid it out. All people should be treated the same, I heard.
Right. This is such disingenuous nonsense. This reminds me of what a corrupt swamp of perpetual liars and hypocrites are in this White House. Look, lots of people use private emails in ways that they shouldn't, right? Reince Priebus was doing this. Bannon was doing this. There were questions as to whether or not the president always uses the most secure phone. Is it the same thing as Hillary Clinton? No, because Ivanka is not Secretary of State. But does she know that everything that she's communicating over private emails isn't necessarily something secure, isn't something that we need to be concerned about? We don't know that. She can't prove it one way or another. And that's why this is a problem, the sort of laziness and dishonesty.
Why do people do it? Let me go to Corey on this. Why do people do this? Why do they break the rules and for their convenience when they know they're going to take a lot of hell over it?
Well, I really think it's a convenience factor. Look, Ivanka Trump...
you break the law conveniently.
No, Ivanka Trump came into the government, unlike Hillary Clinton, who'd been a creature of the government for 30-plus years. She came into the government from the private sector, and I'm sure she was briefed on what the rules and regulations were. She lived through this whole thing with Hillary. There's a fine difference between having worked 3 months in the government and 30 years in the government.
But she lived in the United States through all the years we talked about Hillary.
There's also a very big difference, Chris, of having your own server set up in someone else's bathroom and using
Are you allowed to speak against the Trumps on top?
Of course, and I do it all the time.
Give me an example.
Look, I say all the time.
I
have said so many times that the mistakes that this administration made were hiring the wrong people. They continue to hire the wrong people.
What's the worst thing about Donald Trump?
He works too hard.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I'm sorry, Joe McCarthy. I'm talking like Joe Biden. That's malarkey.
On the golf course,
Anyway,
maybe.
Go ahead, Ginger. Your thoughts about this email comparison between the email used by Hillary Clinton and that by Ivanka Trump, a White House staffer?
It's clearly not the same as
First
Hillary
daughter,
Clinton.
she said I am.
For starters, because she didn't set up a server like Hillary Clinton did. But what is amazing is especially with a president who's so politically astute and very careful about public perception, that they didn't think that any use of private email in this situation would be a potential
Caesar's
political.
wife. Remember that one?
I mean,
Caesar's wife means be careful because everybody's watching. You're my daughter.
You have to know that even if you sent a thank you email accidentally on your Gmail, you're at risk of that being criticized. And so it's surprising that it's sort of an own goal. They gave it up for no good reason.
I thought Hillary had a political reason for keeping that separate email and having that server. It doesn't pass Hoyle or muster. Or be kosher or anything like that, whatever the phrase is. But I know why she did it. She's raising and keeping happy a political army. Right. She was going to run for president when she was Secretary of the State, and she had to keep up everybody's promises and requests and all this stuff, keeping in touch with people, all that. Can you get my daughter into Stanford? Can you get this done? All that stuff. Jay, you know how this...
Yeah,
Corey, you know this, too.
Yeah,
you know why she was doing it. It wasn't
the issue is just the security part. And also, you know, it's not just an issue of the own goal, but it's the fact that this administration doesn't care. That when they spend 2 years screaming about this, they don't care that they're lying. They don't care that they could be endangering people. And she's not the only one who's done it.
Well, thank you. Equal, even, Steve. Good for the goose, good for the gander. Thank you, Ginger Rogers. Ginger Rogers. I mean, I'm old, you know. Anyway, Corey Lewandowski, thank you. Luck on the boat trail to an extent. And Jason Johnson. You're very good, great, Jason. I think when we return, let me finish.